So Sowore just revealed what should be a shocker to those who might be seeing TB Joshua as invincible, as all-knowing, or a greatest prophet that can heal any kind of disease. Now, before we go into what he revealed concerning the death surrounding TB Joshua, okay, let me just make you understand. Sowore is, should I call him a renowned journalist in Nigeria? He also runs Sahara Reporters. Yeah, those in Nigeria knows him to have always revealed so many dark secrets surrounding politicians. Okay, so let's just head straight to what he said on a podcast with Car Truth. Let me know what you think concerning this is revelation.
And I want a country where we have hospitals that are functioning such that even when some of the pastors can't see very well, they can get someone who knows how to treat their eyes to get the best treatment, such that they don't even need to go and hide when they are undergoing treatment. I know of a pastor that died, I think it's TB Joshua, when he had stroke. He didn't even go to a Christian country, went to Turkey. Yes. He spent time in Turkey treating his stroke. He was flown there by his private jet. But I'm sure you've never heard that before, that TB Joshua was treated in Turkey for when he first had stroke. So, but part of what I heard killed him was that he was hiding his sickness. So when he was supposed to go for, he didn't want the public to know that he had had stroke. You know, you never heard that it was made publicly available that he had stroke. And I attended it. If TB Joshua had stroke, and this our brother in Port Harcourt had ability to cure stroke, TB Joshua would have been one of the people he could have used. He shouldn't have allowed a brother, man of God, to die of stroke. That's unfair. Yes. TB Joshua died of stroke. And we have a stroke magician in Port Harcourt. He could have just flown to Lagos. Place his hand on TB Joshua. And we would have had TB Joshua with us today.
And I've been very inquisitive. This healing machine in Port Harcourt.
Now, for the record, there's a lot of things I disagree when it comes to Sowore's opinion about Christianity. But I don't really want to go into all of that, okay? I want you to consider very well what he said. You could discover he gave details. He mentioned that he was flown over to Turkey, specifically Turkey. He was specific about Turkey. And those of us, okay, who in Nigeria knows that somehow this man usually come up with credible information. It's not a big deal for you to get to see a man of God fall sick, okay? There's this preacher currently, Bill Weston, currently recovering, that had a stroke. I mean, it's not a big deal for a preacher to fall sick. But the question is this: why should you cover it? Why should it hide it so much so that 3 years on, nobody knows exactly what surrounds the death of this prophet, so to say? This is just because of what perception the public has about him, what he has presented himself to the public, you know, what they have seen him to be. A lot of persons still consider him, even to date, as the mighty healer. As a matter of fact, I've come to see some preachers that criticize TB Joshua, and you will see a lot of bloggers, even pastors, coming to say these guys criticizing him is because they are jealous, because he cannot do what he was able to do or what he was doing while he was alive. But this is just a simple information that they had to cover. If you observe very well, during the time before he died, okay, those times when he comes up to preach, you could tell that something was wrong. The man was actually depreciating. I think it was Bisola that hinted TB Joshua had some kind of illness. Now, here's my point. I have no issue with a preacher falling ill. I mean, it happens. As a matter of fact, healing is not the ultimate. Salvation is the ultimate. Just to drive this home, everyone in the scripture that Jesus raised up from the dead, they all died again. Even those ones that were healed, they all died. So what I'm trying to say, the fact that a preacher falls healed is not an argument for somebody to come and, you know, discredit Christianity. Far from it. But my point is, why should they cover it? Why should they cover it? Why not just allow your people to know, come on, a man of God is still a man of God. All right. And it's still quite painful that this thing was hidden from the public eye. Quite painful. because a lot of person they've exalted him so high, so much so that they see him as this kind of immortal being. They see him as almost an all-knowing prophet that can heal any kind of disease. So I believe, of course, this is what it is. When he was down with that sickness, because if you can listen to what Sowore said, Sowore said he was having health issue. So he couldn't seek for medical attention because he doesn't want the public to know about his health condition. And because of that, that degenerated to him having stroke. And from stroke, it led to him dying. So in all of this, for people that still want to see him, well, as the almighty prophet that can heal any sickness. I'm not trying to spite TB Joshua, but just try to understand there's always a man behind whatever you get to see displaying in public. And the challenge we've always like to address or like to attack is people trying to exalt themselves so much so that the public begin to see them as idol, begin to see them as God. No. Nobody is all-knowing. So I do want to know what you think about this, right? Some persons will still want to disagree, will still want to come and drag Sowore. But it's all good. Let me know what you think on the comment.